Okay, yeah. Okay. One thing that I'm interested in talking about, especially because we're talking about Iran open data, is a little bit technical, but talking about Arabic script, which is also used in Persian. And this is one letter in Unicode that's just a religious phrase that's just encoded somewhere as just one compound. But we'll talk about it later. So, I don't know. Okay, so I started learning Arabic through a class in Dubai, and I would see something like this and wonder, what does it mean? How can it be so many letters? How can it say Pizza Express with so few differences? And so when you try to split it up more, you can see dots above and below, different stretches, different orientations that make this be all the different letters. And there's actually a Tumblr called Nope Not Arabic, when people try to make Arabic and they make atrocious mistakes. And it looks like this. And you might be saying, but I don't know Arabic. This is going to be so hard for me. It's going to be difficult for me to process this. And that's normal. That's okay. But if you notice the top one, these letters are all by themselves, and they're very sad. And what they want to be is together like this. And when they're next to each other, like when you're doing HTML, sometimes they get split up from each other, but you can use this zero with join character. And if you've heard of that before, it's also used in emoji. So like the woman and law character together with zero with join make a lawyer, and then it's in the hijab emoji with skin color. And it's also used in Arabic in real languages as well. Okay. So when you make a website, not only do you have to make sure the Arabic looks right, but everything gets flipped around. So this is the Persian Wikipedia, and the menu and things which would appear on the left are moved to the right. Sign in and the little magnifying glass for search get moved to the left. Everything is flipped around. Yes? So normally we just do this by adding a little tag, dir equals RTL for right to left. And then on input, you don't know what language someone's going to type. So you can put dir equals auto. It's automatic. And even little changes like this, people don't know about it so much because we don't teach it in web development. But little changes like this, the browser will fix most everything. Yeah. And then there are other issues, like if there's like this icon. So this is a different language that's also right to left. But there's the icon and then some text. And so there's some like spacing and things like that, where if you do any web development, you'll recognize the CSS, and you can write some custom CSS that removes space from one side and adds it to the other. But that has to be done manually. Yeah. And then there's some more obscure cases, like the undo arrow. Why does the undo arrow go to the left? Because we have this like left to right concept. The FedEx logo in Arabic, I don't believe there's an Iranian FedEx, so I just use the Arabic one. And then also, I don't know if you've noticed the solar system. Usually in classrooms, we show the sun and then the other planets going left to right. But then on Wikipedia, there's a Wikipedia that goes the other direction. So that's interesting. Yeah. But don't just like mirror everything. So this is a slide that I saw in a hospital in New York City. And if you look very closely at the globe, they have like they live in this mirror universe apparently. So don't just mirror everything, but just try to keep the directions like that. Okay. And so what I wanted to do on a more serious project is fix OpenStreetMap, because people had translated words but not flipped everything over. So I think it's the next one is also this. Yeah. So we flipped everything over. One thing was a problem is that it had been coded kind of poorly, that assumed the sidebar was on the left. So there are all these different technical issues doing it, but it worked out. One thing that they pointed out here was when we write the label along the road, there are several different errors. I don't think it's possible to tell, but we'd written the name correctly over here, and it didn't appear correctly over there. Okay. There's also like a lot of different calligraphy and stuff that's interesting in Persian. These are a couple examples. Yeah. There's also this one that I really like where you have kind of stretch Arabic, where you can just have this character, and it's not even representing like stress or pronunciation. It's just kind of an artistic thing. Okay. And so the problem that we had in OpenStreetMap, it's very complex, but I'll describe it using the circle analogy. Like I wanted to display Arabic in a circle, but remember I talked about before, when you separate them, they become very lonely letters like this. Okay. And so there's this thing called Unicode, which stores all the characters and all the scripts and all the languages possible. if it's not in there, it has to be added through this whole political process. And so in Arabic, there's the standard letter, which just automatically merges with the other letters around it based on your font. And then there's several different forms: the isolated, initial, medial, and final for every letter. And normally this happens automatically, but in a case like mine where you're making them separated and then want them to look good, there's like this whole back catalog of all the possible representations, like hundreds of different representations. So if you have a special case in Arabic, you can go deep into Unicode. And in this extended universe, you also have some religious phrases. I mentioned the, I think it was Bismillah or something was one of the options. And then also marks that are in the Quran, kind of in the bottom left here. Yeah. And a currency mark. And then when it worked out together, I have an Audi and Ini style for the Arabic script. And it's just a JavaScript library, and it kind of glues all the letters together and chooses the right ones from Unicode, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, that's what I have. Great, thanks.